Hey guys, and welcome back to another one. Now today we are going to take a look at the Cube iWORK 10, which is a 2-in-1, a tablet with an optional keyboard, which is similar to the Shui iBook that we saw a few months ago, and I'll post a link right over here. Now in my opinion, this is an interesting device, especially because it has dual operating system. And that being said, let's go straight for the video. Hope that you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in a few seconds. And we are back, so starting as usual with our very quick unboxing experience. As you guys can see on screen, it's a pretty standard unboxing, and I just want to leave one note, which is this machine doesn't bring any charger. It only has the USB Type-C cable, so we will need to have a charger available to them already. And also the keyboard is optional, so if we want just a tablet, we can just get a tablet. If we need the keyboard, which might be useful for some, then we can order it on the site. Now in terms of design, it feels solid. It's made of an aluminum alloy. It has an IPS screen with a really great color and contrast. Now it is a glossy screen, so as you can see on the images, with light you will get a lot of glare depending on the environment that we are, but for the most part I did really enjoy the colors and the screen. It has that small gap that we see in this type of low budget tablets, which is a gap between the display and the screen itself. But when we are looking at it from the front, it doesn't notice it that much. This is something that I'm really picky at, but I'm used to see on every single budget type of tablet, this kind of situation. Now in terms of the cameras, it has two cameras with 2 megapixels each, so it's good enough for Skype, but that's about it. In terms of ports and in terms of buttons, I will give you a few images right on the screen as usual, and I'll post the description on the left side of the screen so that you can see, but pretty standard as well. Regarding the speakers, what I can say is that the volume is quite good, but there doesn't have, at least personally for my taste, doesn't have enough bass, but this happens with a lot of low budget tablets as well, so nothing particular here. And regarding the keyboard, for those of you that will use keyboards, in my opinion the keyboard is especially useful when we are using Windows 10. Regarding the build quality, it's plastic on the bottom but a really solid metal on the top, and as you can see it will not break that easily. It's not fragile, so you can actually abuse it and it will not go down that easy. Now the keyboard itself, it has a chiclet design and with a good travel, I must say. It's a bit hard, but it has a good travel right over here, so I must give that to them. And I would also like to mention that this is a small keyboard, so the keys are a bit closer to each other comparing to a full keyboard, which is usual. But my experience is that we will get used to it in 20 or 30 minutes, so nothing special over there. The trackpad, it's small, and as you can see there, compared with my iPhone, which is small, the iPhone SE, but it's usable. It has a good accuracy, and I did enjoy it for the most part, especially having in mind considering the price that this keyboard costs. Now in terms of specifications, this tablet is running the Intel quad-core Z8300 CPU, 4 GB of RAM and 64 gigs of storage with Android 5.1 and Windows 10, which in my opinion is one of the great features of this tablet, having dual operating system. Now as always, I did check out the Windows 10 license, and it is fully activated, as you guys can see on screen. It has roughly 30 gigs of free storage on the Windows side and roughly 8 gigs of free storage on the Android side. Now at any time we can switch from Android to Windows and from Windows to Android with just a press of a button, which we have seen in other similar machines, but this is something that I really enjoy. Now in terms of boot time, just for curiosity, we can boot into Windows in roughly 30 seconds, and we can boot into Android in roughly 1 minute. And then moving to the benchmarks, I will give you guys a few seconds on the screen so that you can check it out. But the benchmarks are roughly in line with every single machine that we have seen in regarding if it's a box or a tablet, but with this CPU, which is the Intel Z8300, and it's in line. The only thing that I would like to mention there that I saw a bit weaker is the Wi-Fi connection that will give us a low speed for certain tasks, but we will talk about those tasks in just a few seconds. Now, moving to the media playback, I did test it out with Kodi, and if you want to play back some media up to 1080, then we are more than okay. As you can see, I'm playing a few files there that are stored on my NAS, so everything is running through the network and using the Wi-Fi connection of the tablet and my router here, so everything works great there. Regarding the Netflix app, we can use it on Android, but on Android we will be able to play up to SD quality or 480p, which is not that good. But if you want the full HD experience, we can just switch to Windows and we can enjoy Netflix at 1080, which is great. Now, YouTube app we can use and it will play up to 1080 on the Android side. And I also tested out, as usual, on any machine that goes here to the channel, my ESP service that we can install on any laptop, computer or tablet, and it works at the maximum resolution, which is great. Now, moving to the gaming experience, as we can tell by the specifications of this device, it works great. In terms of Android gaming or Windows gaming from the store, we can play anything available there, and I did test it out with Asphalt 8 and Respawnables, as you guys can see on screen, and the experience is just flawless, no issues whatsoever. I did use the iPad 9023 gamepad. I will leave a link down below or here on the YouTube cards for a gamepad comparison that might help, where I did review a bunch of gamepads, including the iPad 9023. And then still in the gaming department, I did test out GameStream, but unfortunately, even on the lowest settings, the machine is not capable. As you can see there, the connection goes down, and this is just because the Wi-Fi of this tablet is not strong enough for game streaming. I was having some doubts on my network, as we have to do always, and I did test it out on the same spot at the same time with the Xiaomi Mi Pad 2, which I'll leave a link also for the review. Great tablet, by the way. And as you can see on screen, the Xiaomi Mi Pad 2 was able to run at 1080 60 frames per second, while this one here, even changing to 720 at 30 frames per second, did not run well, honestly, because of the Wi-Fi connection. That was the issue. Nothing else was there to implement. So really disappointed to see this feature not working. I know that most of you will not use, but this is one of the things that I love to use, GameStream, and it was not possible. Now, I also tested out the HDMI output, and fortunately works great. This is one of my favorite features on any mobile device, being able to bring it home and then connect to a big screen TV and use it either for media playback or for gaming, which is great. Now, regarding the battery, it will last roughly 4 to 5 hours on normal browsing the web and so on and so forth. If we use gaming or multimedia, like watching a movie, then it will go down to 2 hours roughly in terms of battery usage. Now, the only weak point that I see on this machine is the Wi-Fi connectivity, which might bring some issues if you want to transfer high bitrate files, either movies or game stream, as we tested out and it wasn't possible. But other than that, what I see on this machine, on this budget machine, is a really nice tablet with the option, of course, of this keyboard. By the way, I did not mention, but it's not easy to lose the keyboard. It's used by a magnet system, and I'll remove it right over here. Easy to plug, it will push down, but not so easy to remove. Guys, that being said, hopefully this video was helpful to decide if this machine is worth it for you or not. As always, my name is Roberto George, and I'll see you on the next one.